It's Wednesday, August 10th, about 5 p.m. And yeah, it's Crystal Clear Rise, aka Renee Jimenez. If anybody wants to know, it's not an alias. Renee is my middle name. Jimenez, my married name. If anybody wants to say I'm racist before I get started on anything I gotta say, so I want the Latino community to know I'm married. My husband, who I was, had to hide from because of domestic violence. He's Puerto Rican. Before you get started on that, you're racist bullshit, or for any other foreign ethnic group, who likes to come here to America talking about they want to be American, but they come and they just basically set up their own little tribes and communities and don't blend with Americans, like the Muslims. Before you get started on your Islamophobe nonsense, know that my mother, before she passed, my mother was Muslim. I have proof of that. She was married to a Muslim man. She used to go to the mosque. They were married by the imam. She was known as Habibi. She used to, keep her hair covered, all of that. She taught me part of the Muslim prayer. She wanted, her husband insisted that I learn it, even though, my family was more so non-denomination. My mother let me make my own choice, and I have other Muslim family members. My auntie, Barbara, my cousins, Khalid, Cooley, on and on. Aaliyah, Amina, Shakira. Yeah, so don't get started on that. Michael, my cousin Michael, Muslim. My mom's, all of that. But I have to speak up for my people because see, my black people, American people like me, who suffered so greatly. Our people suffered so greatly through slavery that none of these folks who are coming here enjoying the benefits of civil rights that my black ancestors also got their head bust open, along with whites and other people who cared back in the 60s, in order to achieve these civil rights. None of them suffered as greatly as my people suffered here in this country, and the my American Indian ancestors too. You understand what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is not to be cruel, but that my people have been left behind consistently ever since slavery, and even after slavery. My people have been left behind. Even now, with all of the opportunities that are available, our leaders focus on welcoming illegal foreigners. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against immigration. This country was built on immigration and on slave labor and on hard work. Okay, it was built on part slave labor, part immigration, and a lot of hard work by everybody involved, no matter how they got here. You understand what I'm saying? But when our leaders are more focused on welcoming illegals, I want y'all to pay attention to the news and realize y'all better start stacking up supplies. Because right now the supply chain still has not been repaired. There's still shortages of things like baby formula and so on for those of you who have kids. And right now our leaders, whether it's at the top, President Biden and Kamala Harris and co., whether it's here in the city, Mayor Adams, or on the level of the governor, our mayor of New York City is busy welcoming illegals that are being sent by bus from Texas because they're coming over 200,000 a month coming across the border into Texas. The Texans are sick of it. Texan governor and politicians in the people who live there in the counties on the border are sick of being overrun by over 200,000 people flooding their little towns, which they say they towns over there are like, some of them are the size of a borough or whatever the case may be. So he had the bright idea, the governor of Texas, to send them to New York and D.C. So y'all better pay attention because we have a lot of people who are just coming, and they're coming from over 150 different countries. That's already been documented by the FBI. They're being dropped off by bus here. And so services are about to get much more crowded. Appointments about to get much more longer. If anybody needs help with the shelters, shelters are getting overrun right now. And the mayor, instead of working on crime, homelessness, lack of affordable housing, etc., education here in the city, which he promised to do when he was trying to get elected and campaigning, he's busy down there welcoming illegals that are being shipped here from Texas and making room and supplies and so on for them. And so what I want to say to my people is, we've always been at the back of every, I've seen we've elected a lot of black leaders. We got a lot of black spokesmen and people who want to speak for the black community, Black Lives Matter and this and that. How do y'all feel that it's doing for our communities? Our communities getting better? What I tell you is this: you better keep a close eye, keep your kids and your loved ones close, because our city about to be flooded, just like the border was flooded. They tired of it. They shipping them here to New York. And my thing is, see, it's not that I'm against immigration, but I feel that just the same way Americans, when we travel, okay, and I have traveled a little bit. Like I went to Puerto Rico over 20 years ago. I was there for 4.5 months. Listen, I followed the laws where I was when I traveled. You understand what I'm saying? I would never think to go to a country, sneak in, or do any of the things they do, come in without inspection. People are coming across the border with no inspection as to their health status, criminal status, predator, pedophile status, gang affiliation status. And listen, I understand when people have a need, but when you start off by breaking the law, how you gonna come in a place and then all of a sudden you start trying to act like you law abiding now? You started off law breaking, and so now that you want to pretend everybody's law abiding. Listen, y'all better watch closely and see everything's about to get more crowded. I'm talking to my black people because we're always at the bottom of every consideration, or our names were constantly used for people to get props for things like racism, Black Lives Matter. Well, what benefit are y'all getting out of it? Are we getting out of it? I don't see any in our communities that we getting. Do you? From Black Lives Matter, from people talking about racism and all of this stuff. And all I see is our community is about to get even more crowded. Supermarket prices is going to be even higher. Do y'all know? I mean, because of these policies, y'all electing these people who put into place, they don't benefit us. Do you feel like these policies benefit you? Do you feel like Biden and Co. is doing, and Kamala and Co. The Mayor Adams and Co. is doing anything that benefits you? Then why you keep voting for them? Huh? Let me know. If they are, I want to see the before pictures, the after pictures of what they did for you and your community, and the accompanying press coverage. I'm still waiting. I said that for years. Ain't nobody sent me shit. Yo, y'all better wake up, yo. Because just the same way the border towns are being overrun, now watch and see. In the next 6 months to a year, they keep shipping these buses here every day. See if y'all like it. What they was going through on the border. I already know how these niggas get down. I was on 160, yo. I tell you, y'all better get, and don't get me wrong. As I said, I'm not against immigration. This country was built on that. But there's rules and laws everywhere you go in every country. And the same countries who will happily allow their citizens to break the law and come across the border here into our country. Yeah, I'm talking about Mexico and every other country down there that do it. They will throw Americans in jail if we come down their country and do the exact same thing. Miss me with the bullshit. Yo, y'all better wake up. I want to know, do y'all feel like y'all getting something good out of all of this Build Back Better bullshit? Let me know. YouTube, Renee Jimenez. YouTube, Crystal Clear Eyes. YouTube, see? I told y'all, if ain't nothing going on the block, I ain't going to make nothing up about the fellas across the street. They didn't bother me, I ain't bother them. But I know one thing, anybody who got kids or family, you better start stacking up more supplies, because the broke masses is coming across the fucking border and being shipped to New York. And the mayor said we don't have enough money to take care of them, and the feds ain't setting no extra dough. Y'all better pay attention, yo, before the economy collapse on y'all ass, yo. Real talk. Here you go.